out on our quiet ranch, where the fence lines stretch farther than the HOA's imagination. Trouble rolled in on 4 shiny wheels the day an HOA board member decided our land was their personal overflow parking lot. Without asking, No, they left their oversized SUV right up against our electric fence, blocking the cattle path like they owned the place. We tried being reasonable at first calls went unanswered. Texts ignored, and a handwritten warning tucked under the windshield wiper was tossed aside like a joke. That's when Grandpa noticed, leaned on his cane, and gave that slow grin that meant someone was about to learn a lesson the old-fashioned way. Grandpa had spent his whole life on the ranch, wiring fences, fixing tractors, and dealing with people who thought rural land was free real estate, and he knew exactly how to handle entitlement. Calm as ever, he checked the fence charger, made sure everything was working safely and by the book, and then went back to the porch to wait. Hours passed. The sun dipped low. Then the HOA SUV's owner finally returned, keys in hand, smug smile. Ready, until they touched the door handle and jumped back like the ranch itself had spoken. The fence hadn't damaged the vehicle, hadn't broken a single rule, but it delivered a perfectly legal, perfectly memorable zap that echoed their shock loud enough for the cattle to look up. Suddenly, the shouting started, accusations flew, and phones came out to record, but Grandpa just stood there, polite as Sunday morning, explaining that the fence had always been live and the signs had always been posted. The ranch wasn't a parking lot, and respect wasn't optional. By the time the SUV peeled out in embarrassment, the message was crystal clear. Out here, you don't mess with property you don't own. And you definitely don't underestimate a rancher who's had decades to master patience. After that day, the HOO never parked so much as a bicycle on our land again. And Grandpa? He just sipped his coffee, smiled, and said some lessons stick better when people feel them for themselves.